Good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. Well, we are in the beginning of a civil war. We've talked about this for a while, and for anybody new who has recently come to us, I want to say that we are not one of those channels who are always screaming about the end of the world and civil war and World War III and things like that. But we have been warning about this, and I want to talk about this in reasonable terms and discuss why I think that it's true and what to do about it. Uh, it was, by the way, it was great to have all of you who watched my interview with my son yesterday about the state of surveillance in our country, of local police surveillance. A lot of you enjoyed that, and you all were very complimentary. It was great to have Aiden with me again yesterday. We're going to see more of him because I think that it's important to get the viewpoint of the younger people. There's a lot of people in the prepper world who kind of disdain the younger people, thinking that, oh, the young people don't know anything, and I think that the people that make those kinds of statements are very limited in their associations with young people, because I tell you what, the young people are our hope for the future, and there are a lot of exceptional ones, and a lot of them coming into their own. So so we enjoyed it, he enjoyed it, and I'm glad you all enjoyed it too. I've been talking about the possibility of civil war for some time, several years, and I warned that it was probably going to come when a Republican president got back into office. The reason being that of course, that while the Democrats were in control, they were pretty much able to do anything they wanted politically, and we saw the destruction of so many of our constitutional rights over the years. It began a long time ago, but really Obama was the one who lit the big match, and we saw a continuation. Trump wasn't able to go against a lot of it effectively during his first term. Then we saw the real destruction coming with Biden. And when the Democrats are in control, when the communists, let me put it that way, when the communists are in control, the resistance from the more conservative, traditional, fundamental American side is, to be honest, not much more than a bunch of yelling and screaming and whining, and very little gets done. On the other hand, and then too often when the Republicans get in, they don't use their power. I put up something on the Patreon channel this morning. And by the way, if you're not with us on the Patreon channel, there is a reason that you should be, and the link is right down below. It only costs you $1 a month. I start every day with either a scripture or a saying, something that'll make you think, an inspirational quote of some kind. Sometime I put up a piece of music, but it's a great way to start the day. And speaking of scripture, this just came into my mind. I'm going to do one here pretty soon about Jesus and preparedness. Right before I came down here to the office, I saw there was a response from somebody, a comment from somebody, saying Jesus is coming soon. Well, that would be nice, but it indicates a real misunderstanding on the part of many, and what Jesus actually said about being prepared, and that's leading a lot of people in the prepper world down the wrong path, and that's dangerous. So I'm going to be making one about that here pretty soon. But back to this, when the Republicans are in power, as it were, they do very. Oh, I was talking about the quote that I put up this morning, and it said that knowledge is not power. You've heard this for years, right? Knowledge is power. No, it's not. It's potential. It is the application of knowledge that is power, and the communists know how to apply it, and they have the willingness to apply. They are, the ready, willing, and able. They are ready, they are willing, and they are able to apply the knowledge that they have and manifest power. The other side, not so much. The conservative side, not really. It's a lot of grumbling and things. And that's why our country has devolved to the point that it is. I won't go any farther with that because I'm going to talk about more of that on the American Revival channel. And if you're not with us there, that link is also down below. I try to keep the politics separate from preparedness, except when it's necessary. And it's kind of necessary today. But I'm looking forward to covering it more on the American Revival. But when the Republicans get in and the communists are out, the communists don't stop. And communists, by that I mean the Democrat Party. They do not stop. That's when they show what real resistance is. Do you remember the Summer of Love, right? Okay, that's resistance. Do you ever see the right do that? No. But we do see the left. And we saw this, and I warned about this before the election, that we would see the beginning of a civil war, a potential civil war, after the election if Trump won. And that's exactly what's happening. Now, it took longer than I thought that it would. And everybody was kind of, and I think there was a plan to that. Everybody was kind of wondering, gee, nothing's happening. This is going too smooth. No, they're not rising up. They're not doing anything, right? And it even led some people to say, and even some channels that I watched to say, oh, this just proves that Trump is part of the system because it's going so smoothly. If he weren't part of the system, they'd be rising up, right? Well, you're starting to see it. By the way, thank you all for your comments and your suggestions on the new channel name. I'm considering those, and you have some good ones. Yesterday, well, now, a couple of things that have been said. Several days ago, Musk said, this is the biggest revolution since the original American Revolution. And of course, what he was talking about was the works of Doge, right? And the changes that they're bringing about with the structure and the corruption of our government. Now, if you've heard me talk before about how civil wars often follow revolutions, and I've used the Irish situation as an example, a revolution will finally start, but then, as that happens, there's resistance from one or more parties, and it becomes actually a civil war because both sides are fighting for control over the same government. And you've heard me say this before, if you've been with me or if you've read my books. It'll be the first civil war that we've ever had here in the United States. And I know that your history teachers gave you books that told you that we had a civil war in the 1860s. We did not. That was a secession of states, which was their constitutional right. I don't care what anybody says. Study more if you disagree with me. They seceded from a union because the union was because of the way the union was treating the South, and because the union was usurping states' rights. Oh, I know you've been taught it was about slavery. That was a sliver of it, but it was about states' rights. They separated from the United States of America and created essentially their own country, the Confederate States of America, made up of sovereign states, the way that it was originally intended to be in the United States of America. And then the North, Lincoln, invaded the South. He invaded sovereign country. It wasn't a part of the United States anymore. He invaded the South, destroyed the South, and that's what they taught you was the Civil War. Not at all. It's interesting. I love the chance, the opportunities that I have to teach my kids. My daughter is currently studying the Civil War in one class and the Holocaust in another, and I'm able to kind of show her where she's been misled in so many places, and give her the truth about some things. But when Musk said that we are in a revolution, he was exactly right. And the revolution was the traditionalists, the MAGA, whatever you want to call it, the traditionalists finally, and it's not the people. Let me make this clear. It's not the people that are rising up to do this. The people are following a leader. Okay, they are following Donald Trump and Musk, and we like what he's doing, right? But make no mistake, it took a strong leader to do that, and the people are following along. And I think that the people are gathering more strength and energy as a result. Well, the other side never gives up. Communists never give up. And I'll put this up probably as a link when I put this one on the Patreon channel that says, it's from everybody's favorite lib, Alec Baldwin. And Baldwin put up something on Instagram, and I'll try to put the link when I put this one on Patreon. He said that we are in pre-Civil War times. And he was his usual idiotic self. I just think that we are, when I look at how everything is in our country, and people can't, they hate each other and they're going back and forth and blah, 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 blah. I think that when I look at the Civil War, it's just the same, and I don't know. And for the first time, I agree with something that Alec Baldwin said. Well, we are in those times, and how did it start? It's don't dismiss the keying of the cars. Don't dismiss the keying of Teslas. This is what it's all about. Don't dismiss the firebombing of Tesla dealerships. Don't dismiss the arson against the Republican headquarters in New Mexico. Don't dismiss any of these little sparks that are starting to happen now. They laid low for a while, and now they're not. Now they're starting to go. It will become a much more dangerous environment for anybody who opposes them. And you have to think about this seriously. This isn't something to be all jumping up and down and excited about. Like you will see some channels, it's civil war, it's civil war. Well, it is, but you need to take it seriously. And too many people who jump up and down and get all excited, they don't take it seriously. Okay, this is something you have to understand and internalize and prepare for. Now, as this continues, and we're seeing, it's showing itself everywhere. It's showing itself in the government. It's showing itself with the FBI and the CIA, destroying records. It's showing in the judicial system with activist judges trying to, put a restraining order and halt a lot of Trump's actions. These are the way that civil wars happen. It's not people going out in the streets only, and it's not going to be that way really now. But it's not just that. It's political. It's informational. Okay, and now it's technical. Okay, now it's going to manifest. Yes, it will. I think we will see a lot of attacks on the street. That makes it dangerous for anybody out there who's in a large crowd. Okay, anybody with a Trump sticker on their truck or car. I don't mean to say that all Trump supporters drive trucks, but anybody who's showing, and I still wear I'll be real honest, when I go out to Home Depot and things, I wear that because I just love to start conversations with people. And I said before the election I would wear this around, and too many people didn't. Too many people were afraid of it, and I'll explain that in a minute. And people would come up to me in stores and things, and they'd get real close and they'd say, "I like your hat." And you know what happened after the election? I still wear this around everywhere, and but people would see me from 20 feet away and say, "I like your hat." not afraid, not embarrassed, anything, because now they were on a winning team. You know, that says something about it. I mean, if you wait to stand up after somebody's already won the game, it shows a weakness on our side. But there will be dangers. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to stay out of crowds. I'm not going to keep myself from going someplace I want to go. And whether you do or not is up to you. But you have to be ready to handle it. You have to be ready to respond and protect yourself. Now, this Civil War, I mentioned the other day, kind of a review. It wasn't really a review, but a recommendation about a movie, and believe it or not, starring Robert De Niro, whom I despise. The Bible says don't hate, so I won't say that I hate him. I despise him. But actually, he did a good job in this, and it was called Zero Day, and it was about an internal cyber attack carried out. I won't give away the story because I do recommend. It's on Netflix. You should watch it. And it shows how everything this could happen. It was carried out by a group within our government as a way to, well, I won't give away the story. But just let me say this. Well, I think I can continue a little bit without giving away the story. And then the other side responds, and you'll just have to watch it to see further. What could happen here? A civil war is going to be, the dummies are going to be out on the street, but, you know, I mean, the left has no shortage of dummies, right? That's their cannon fodder. They want to put those people out in the street to try to get an overt response from law enforcement. In the past, during the Summer of Love, they made law enforcement stand down so that the cities burned and people's businesses burned and everything like that. I think that under this administration, under the Trump administration, if they start doing that stuff, I think there is going to be a robust response because people are champing at the bit. Chomping at the bit, whichever. It's not a phrase that I use a lot. Is it champ? It's chomping. Chomp, chomp. They're chomping at the bit. They can't wait for this stuff to happen, and that's what can set this off. There are too many people in law enforcement and the military who would love nothing more, just like what you see at the border when they finally started shutting that thing down. Man, people loved it. And if they will start shutting things down here, if we get, riots, people are just going to be salivating at the chance to go put the bracelets on those morons and toss them in the pokey, right? They're going to love it. And of course, what that does is that gives the left more martyrs, more things to scream about, more things for Maxine Waters and Chuck Schumer and that Crockett idiot and AOC and Al Sharpton and all of their little, willing minions in the legacy media to scream about, to yell and scream about. And half of our country, you have to realize this, half of our country thinks the way they do. And if only 10% of them are nutty enough to do something, if only 1% of them are nutty enough to do something about it, now I think they are, that could light something up that would very possibly develop into a full-fledged civil war. If the communists feel that they are not advancing politically, communists always go to the streets. And you know who's there on the streets? You are. You are there on the streets. You are going to the store. You are going to the gas station. You are going to your doctor's appointment. You're going to work, right? So you're out there in it. And you have to be the one that's ready to respond. You are your own first responder. You know, the police will come. I mean, if you get surrounded at a stoplight, something like that, and all of a sudden bricks and cinder blocks start banging on your car, and people are surrounding it and hitting your car with baseball bats, trying to drag you out. Oh, the police will be there soon, you know, not soon enough, never soon enough. They rarely get there in time to stop anything. It's not because they don't want to. Trust me, they would love to be there. But they have other things to do, and they're never right there. Okay. And it might take them a while to get there, just in time to, you know, call the ambulance or the coroner for you, and then go back through all their cameras and try to find out who did it, and go through the whole legal process of, you know, the investigation and the arrest and the attempted prosecution, blah, 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 and that doesn't help you a bit. And if your family's in the car, it doesn't help your wife a bit, doesn't help your husband a bit, doesn't help your kids a bit, okay? Because it's done. You have to be the one who's ready to respond to this. And so you might think about the things that you want to do from here on out. You might want to, you know, prepare yourself in your vehicle. And of course, the ultimate one is that you carry. Always. And then you can have other things in there. You know, some people like bear spray. Nothing wrong with that. Wasp spray. Nothing wrong with that. Fire extinguisher. A fire extinguisher in the car. You know, a bunch of people come up and trying to take you out of your car, and you roll down the window a little bit and hit them with that fire extinguisher. You know, it doesn't take much to repel these people, to be honest, in most cases. But it does take something. And if you don't have any of the lower level stuff to repel them, then you don't have any of those mid-range choices. You're going to have to go to the maximum. And now you've put yourself in a whole different level of challenge. So that's my advice is realize that this very, very well could be the beginning of a civil war. They always start out slow. Don't get all excited like I see other channels about it, because that's a flash in a pan that goes away. This is to be taken seriously, and I want you to take it seriously. I want you to understand that these little things, the little sparks, is what starts the fire. And all civil wars start with little isolated incidences. Pay attention, stay up with what's going on, be aware of where you are, always be prepared where you are to defend yourself. And be well, okay? And before I let you go, let me take a moment to remind you of our sponsor, the Stonemont series, written by, me. That's right. The Stonemont series is a series of novels, sequential novels, the reversion, the revival, the renewal, and appeal to heaven, the blessings of freedom, hostages to fortune, and the latest one, which is On Wings Like Eagles, and is a story of a family, a prepared family, who, as a result of their preparedness, was able to continue to live well after a total collapse of everything and help other people. And that should be the goal of preparedness. Not this lone wolf, I'm standing alone, nobody else, I'm not helping anybody else kind of thing, but really to help other people, to establish yourself and to help other people. And this is the story of that. It's just the total plan for preparing for, surviving, and rebuilding community after a total collapse of everything. If you haven't read them, I would suggest this be the next thing you do. It's a great read. It's a great story. You will love the characters. You'll fall in love with a couple of them. You people have told me. There's a couple characters in there that people just fall in love with. But it's packed with lessons. It's packed with preparedness and survival lessons. You won't even realize you're learning, because you will be wrapped up in the story. And there's a couple ways that you can get them. You can get them through Amazon, and that link's right down below. And through Amazon, you can get them in either paperback or Kindle or Audible. I always say Audible, or you can get them a better way, which is through me, directly through our website, stonemont.us. And when you do it that way, I get to sign them for you, and I get to write a little note in there for you. And we give you a discount because when we ship them, and you can buy, oh, I didn't say this, you can buy the whole set as a set. You can't do that through Amazon. And when you buy the whole set as a set, then you get a discount because we save money on packaging and handling and shipping and postage and everything like that. And then we pass that savings on to you. And then I toss in the Stonemont notebook, which I use all the time, and you will love it. And that link is down below, stonemont.us. And yes, I have a new big shipment coming. I occasionally run out. We've had a heck of a couple of months with the orders coming in. We do our best, but we run out every now and then, and I gotta wait for them. But you'll get them. Order them, and you get them pretty soon. We're waiting for a big delivery coming in, I think, in just a few days here. So those will be getting out for the people who have already ordered. And then if you order yours, you'll get them. So the Stonemont series, you will love them and you'll learn a lot. And that's the way that I suggest you prepare. Not out of fear, but out of responsibility. And that's what the story's about. It's out of personal responsibility. Your preparedness is your personal responsibility. And the better you do for yourself, the more you're going to be able to help others when they need it too. Okay? All right. So just be aware of that. I think that very possibly these are little things happening right now. Could be the sparks of the beginning of a real civil war. We won't know, but we have to be ready. Better to be ready and not have to be than have to be and not be ready, right? Okay. All right. Well, think about it. Think about what measures you can take to stay safe while you're out there in the world. Pay attention to what's going on in the world. Keep up on the news, kind of see what's going on. I don't mean you believe everything the news says, but the news is how you get your, kind of the raw material, right? And don't fall prey to the fear mongers, because they're not out there to help you, really. They're out there to make money off of you, and they will lead you down the wrong path, because the path of fear is not the fear to be on, right? It's the path of responsible preparedness, trust in the Lord, and doing right. Okay, so you all have a good day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.